Adriana wanted to talk about, and we should all talk about. It came out today. Cops in Minneapolis, I believe, in Minnesota, murdered Amir Locke. This was again, how does this keep fucking happening in Minnesota? Like, Jesus Christ, people. Like, you have been ground zero now for, like, enough of these. You should really stop.
Let me give more context.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
So Wednesday morning at approximately 6:48 a.m. in Minneapolis, a SWAT team comprised of, I believe, officers from the St. Paul Police Department shot and killed Amir Locke, who is 22 years old. So that happened Wednesday morning. Thursday, Ilhan Omar and some other members of the Minnesota House asked for the body cam footage to be released. They wrote a letter to the mayor. The body cam footage was released this morning. Based off of what we saw in that body cam footage, the Gun Owners Caucus released a statement basically saying that the shooting of Amir Locke was unjustified and that Black men have the right to bear arms and own guns and defend themselves and their property too. What we saw in the body cam footage was 22-year-old Amir Locke sleeping on the couch. The police had some way acquired a key to the apartment, so they don't knock. And in the statement they released, they're like, oh, we knocked and we announced. No, they didn't. They unlocked the door to this man's house and just walked in. Within 9 seconds of them opening the door, he was shot and killed, bro. Like, they're like, oh, he pointed a gun at us. But no, he didn't. Yes, you can see him pick up his gun, but I'm also going to reach for my gun if you just bust into my house and start yelling and putting flashlights in my face. Like, I don't know. But
well, yeah. And they're all, I mean, if you watch the video, which I don't know if I can show just Twitch terms of service, but, it's the Stavion Rodriguez murder. Like, there's so many parallels to all these things. It's 4 cops screaming different instructions, to somebody who is clearly not, able to follow 4 different instructions at the same time. And then they just, and then they just open fire and execute.
I think the most important things to note is that, as far as I understand, the gun that Amir had is completely legal and registered to him. So he had every right to have this firearm. He grabbed the firearm, but his head wasn't even out from underneath the damn cover. He was not pointing that gun. Right. As a matter of fact, whenever he was shot, the police are like right here and the gun is pointing this way in his hand. Like, he was not pointing the gun at them. They, on top of that, Amir was not at all on the search warrant or associated with the crime that they're investigating in this search warrant. So literally, this man was just an innocent bystander who was fucking murdered by the police. And the fact that, like, this continues and continues and continues to happen because we have these raggedy ass elected officials who won't change the policies that allow for this to happen. If we would have prosecuted the cops that shot and killed Breonna Taylor, then maybe this would have been a situation. If we would have got the fucking George Floyd Justice and Policing bill passed that the weak ass Dems couldn't even get through, then we would have been able to effectively ban no-knock warrants and keep this from ever happening to anyone again. But instead, we continually see the murders of Black and brown people on TV every single fucking day because our leaders choose not to make adequate decisions and policy changes for whatever reason besides wanting to maintain white supremacy and uphold the status quo. This is bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Which city did this take place in?
This happened in Minneapolis, same place they fucking murdered George Floyd. And this boy was 22 years old. Tasneem is 22 years old. I'm 23. It could have been any of us.
Yeah, and I mean the one article you sent, which I can't remember if I can pull up or not, but I mean said that he wasn't even on the warrant. He wasn't even the one they were looking for necessarily.
it came out. I saw on Twitter that is now coming out that this is not even the address. Maybe it hasn't been confirmed, but they did. This is not even the address they had on the warrant from some tweets that I saw earlier. And so we're still waiting for more information to come out because, of course, every time the police fuck up, they want to be slow to release stuff. But it's just like, this is a 22-year-old kid who is not going to see the light of another day. His family is grieving, and the only thing y'all have to say is a whole bunch of fucking lies. Oh, we knocked on the door. We announced that it was us. He pointed a gun at us, and none of those things are true.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So,
and I just keep. Oh, go ahead.
No. I mean, the thing that I really wanted to say is this: is like, a warrant with the wrong address, or a warrant and they just decided to go to another address. Like, we're talking about 4 cops, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were 4 in the video. Yeah.
How do 4 people manage to fuck that up?
Wait, and here's the thing. Here's another thing. If you don't know anything about why no-knock warrants were ever even created and why they exist or what the qualifiers are for the police to go and ask a judge for a no-knock warrant, let me fucking inform you. The reason they created no-knock warrants were because they were afraid of taking on these big crime syndicates, right? Mafias and all this shit. So they create no-knock warrants so basically they can go and, go bust these bad guys. But what they've done essentially since no-knock warrants have become a policy is use them to crack down on low-level, suspected drug offenders in Black and brown communities. And this is the result of that, right? And so it's just like this as a policy is dangerous for literally everyone. And what if he would have shot a cop?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
When they Taylor, her boyfriend jumped up and started firing his weapon because he thought his house was being broke into. And then they tried to charge him with shooting at a fucking cop. No, you broke in my shit.
Yep.
How much more did that get? Literally, we have a fucking white man here in Oklahoma. What is his name? It's the same guy we compare LaRue Bratcher's case to, right? He's at the damn Bass Pro Shop, sees from Bass Pro Shop that his house is being broken into, drives 30 minutes home, shoots and kills a fucking Black kid. I believe he was a teenager. Shoots and kills a fucking Black kid, and, nothing happens. So if someone is able to break in his house and he can premeditate murder, and this is not obviously this is a case that happened in Minneapolis versus some situations that I'm referring to here locally, but this is a nationwide issue. It's everywhere.
I mean, I draw just direct parallels again, just to the Stavion Rodriguez murder. I mean, you had the kid surrounded, he set down his gun, and you still just because of incompetence and shouting and just poor execution, I mean, you kill him. It's just there's no way to watch that video, those body cam videos, and come to any conclusion except that every aspect of this went horribly wrong and did not need to happen.
I'm at this point where I understand defunding the police and stuff like that seems to be such a divisive issue, but if that's if that's not something we can get away with, just give me my money back. I'm serious. If the government is not working effectively as a product, just give me my money back, because this is and I will choose how to protect myself much better than apparently your law enforcement agency can, because your law enforcement agency is literally coming into my house and killing me.
Yeah, that's oh god.
We are literally paying to potentially get murdered. Make it make sense. I'm getting taxes taken out my check to potentially get gunned down by a fucking pig in a uniform when I leave my suite today. Are you kidding? This is ridiculous. Y'all know how I feel about cops. Stop fucking killing us, bro. Just stop fucking killing us. That's all we want. If black people start asking for retribution, then you need to be afraid. But all we're asking for is just stop fucking killing us.
Yeah. No, I mean the demands are beyond reasonable, and the offenses are beyond the pale. I mean, it's so far past time to stop doing this stuff.